Yeah. So I just got back from the gym, and while I was there, I saw a guy. He's one of the usual suspects of the morning crew, and he's training with his personal trainer there. But after his session, he came up to me and said, "Are you doing okay, Steve? I saw you limping." And so I had an opportunity to tell my story about a fall I had 4 years ago. So what happened? I'm a stonemason. I was working in a hotel built in the mid 1800s in the attic, peeling stone out to create a doorway through the wall. And so the long of the short of it is, the attic floor gave up, and a ton and a half of stone, and I went down 18 feet to the ballroom, and it smashed up my ankle pretty good. So it's full of arthritis now. But before this accident, I had one 11 months earlier as well, and this was clearly my fault. But I got in the way of a skid steer, and that same leg, it blew out. The skid steer took a hole in my heel and blew out my tibia through the front of my shin, and so I have a steel rod through that leg. Well, but after the fall, while I'm convalescing from that, my wife decides that we need to get away for a weekend just to chill out, and so she took me to a resort, and I was going to have a shower, so I got climbing in the tub and lost my footing, and feet went flying up in there, and I came down on the side of the tub on my ribs and cracked the hell out of those. So anyhow, in a moment of frustration and self-pity, I cried out to God. I said, "Why are you doing this to me?" No sooner had that thought or asked that question in my heart that I got an answer in my heart. It said, "I'm not doing it to you. I'm doing this for you." I can tell you that instantly changed my whole perspective on the situation, from that of self-pity to an attitude of gratitude, and it's been that way since then. You see, every morning and every night, I'm gimping around pretty hard. You can hear me coming and going, that's for sure. But it also serves of that reminder of how blessed I truly am. See, I realize how many people have it worse than I, whether it be cancer, paralysis, ALS, the list goes on and on. Bottom line is, I don't have to look very far to find somebody that has a situation worse than I do. So this experience with the fall, I would consider a moment that I wouldn't trade in for anything in the world, because of what it's taught me about not just resiliency, gratitude, but also about compassion for others. So yeah, I'll take that and I'll run with it as best as I can. Stay blessed and loved. Bye.